What to review? Studio 45 is a mess of things to go over. I could show off my desktop setup. It's not September yet, so I shouldn't show off my collection again. Even if I did just get a new G&G FNC. We could do a quick drawing video, or go for a good session out in the neighborhood. We could review this glass of grape juice together. It's not bad, but I guess we should review another pistol, like this one. Welcome to the Colt Rail Gun review. This is USAirsoft, and I'm Scott Hallenbeck. And today we'll be checking out the new Colt Rail Gun CO2 1911, which is OEM'd by KWC and licensed by Cybergun, which is brought to you by Blowback Central, which itself is based in Houston, Texas. This is a brand new store specializing in carrying the highest of quality in gas guns, so if you're a user of these pieces, then be sure to follow the links in the description, or go ahead and spank them a like on their Facebook page. But now let's get into it where we always begin, the unboxing. This time we have a very flashy and compact box which is branded with Colt logos, warnings in different languages, and some facts from Cybergun about this piece, which we'll be testing ourselves anyway, so these facts don't really mean anything to me. All in all, it's flashy, but what I do want to see is some secure packaging on the inside. Opening the lid, we're greeted with an instruction sheet. This sheet shows you how to load a magazine, how to load a BB, how to use the safety, disassemble the piece, and adjust your hop-up. And that's pretty much it. I can't say that this is much of an instruction manual, but I guess that's why you have common sense and YouTube videos to watch. So I guess I'll be your user manual. One more note about the box that you can see here would be the other variants of this pistol, just in case you're not liking this all silver look, but still like the railgun. Now let's empty the box by taking out the pistol itself and removing it from its plastic wrap. Now we'll come back to this, I promise you, but first let's dig under the box, which will reveal a small bag of BBs, which I'd throw out to be just on the safe side, and you'll get an Allen wrench for removing and inserting CO2 bulbs into the magazine. Now getting to the pistol, we have a roughly 2-pound build comprised of a metal slide and a metal frame. But what you are going to notice in this review is that this pistol is just another variant of the Elite Force TAC, which itself is just a variant of the KWC CO2 1911, with the body kit. Besides the stainless metal look that the Colt has, both these pieces have bright white iron sights, plastic grips, even though the Colt bears a wood look, a small rail for accessories on the frame, ambidextrous safeties, a functionable extended beaver tail safety, and a skeletonized hammer and trigger. Even the magazines are the same despite the color swap. You can use either of these magazines with either gun with no issues at all, and you'll see me doing this in the shooting portion of this video later. And yes, the magazine still takes 15 BBs in a double stack formation. Even though it states on the box that the mag capacity is 17, I'd recommend only loading the magazine to a 15 round load, as to not overload the spring and follower to a breaking point. And since this is just an KWC 1911 to the core, you can still swap parts between the Elite Force TACs and this model, to make any color combo you wish to. It's your pistol, so make it your own. Now let's put the Colt back together and get a really good look at it. For this pistol, I see the slide being the selling point for this piece. Cybergun did a great job by getting the licensing for this 1911, which can be seen by the beautiful engravings on the slide. These are carved deep and won't wear away like the painted on Elite Force trades on the TACs. I especially like the details on the Colt, as the attention to detail is marvelous. The grips on the slide are also much cleaner than the TACs had to offer. These are simply sharper and give a bit more grip to when you need them. But now I'm really nitpicking here. Now last time I had an annoying time dealing with the ambidextrous safeties on the frame of the gray TAC, but on this Colt we have slightly tighter safeties. Now this shouldn't be seen as a pro, as all airsoft pieces are slightly different. So while I have dirty loose safeties, someone else could have rock solid safeties that are a pain to move. Now one thing that the TAC does have that this Colt doesn't would be the threaded tip for suppressors. But does that really matter? Are you guys really going to throw a suppressor onto this gun regularly? Because I think it looks good just the way it is. But if you're really down for suppressors, then picking up a threaded tip barrel should be no problem, as replacement parts are readily available for this pistol. Now if you're wondering, well, where's my hop up? Well, you're going to have to take the pistol down to get to it. Now when you do take apart the pistol, you'll find this little dial based hop up. Now taking down a 1911 is very simple, but if you need any help, then go ahead and check out our review over the gray 1911 by Elite Force with this annotation or link down in the description. But for the 1911 veterans, this should be very simple. This would be your hop up. It's very stiff, and it actually does work, and I would recommend .25s with this pistol. When it came to chrono, we received a high of 364 and a low of 307 feet per second with the fresh CO2 and .2 gram BBs, which is completely different than the last 1911 we reviewed. Then after emptying the CO2 of half its charge, we chronoed again with the same BBs, to get a high of 346 and a low of 276 feet per second. Take its consistency as you would, but keep in mind that you can still put out about 60 shots with the same CO2 cartridge before having to replace it. But also you may be over the limit at most CQB fields, and consistency of FPS would be kind of all over the place. Now that I've shown you a bit about this piece, let's go ahead and shoot it a bit and get some dual wield action going on before I give you my final conclusion over this 1911. Now you may be noticing that I'm having trouble firing this 1911 now. It seems like the trigger won't move at all after a shot or two, and I'm clueless to what's happening here. But once we switch to this next scene, you may understand what's causing this problem. Keep an eye on the black button on the right side which holds in the slide lock / takedown pin.
Whoa. Let's make it apparent that this just fell out. And I'm not sure. Come on, show it. I'm not sure what that's from. So something just fell out of the barrel, I believe. But I have no idea what that part is too. I'm going to quit shooting for the time being. I'm going to go figure out what's going on, and I'm going to message my sponsor for this video about this. Alright, so after contacting my sponsor agent, I was able to determine this. Well, get out of here, bees. While taking it apart, I determined that that black pin, this brass ring, and the actual takedown lever is all three separate pieces. That black pin, as you saw, is a separate piece that came out. As soon as I took that out, I turned over the gun, and the brass piece came out. It just fell out. And then the handle, or the actual takedown lever, that fell out of the gun after turning it that way. So after that pin falls out, you don't have anything holding on to it. So it just falls to its three parts. Like I said, I have this one, so I'm just going to swap this out and continue the shooting, and I'm still keeping in contact with my sponsor. So we're just going to finish the shooting.
Well, that's pretty much it for this review, but would I recommend this piece even despite the takedown lever falling apart on video? Well, yes I would still recommend this, as I was able to fix that pin by simply tapping it back in place. Now, if this was my gun, I'd probably Loctite it together, as that piece never needs to be apart ever. But the question of the day for you guys would be, is this piece worth $120, or do you have another pistol in mind for that price? Be sure to leave your answer in the comments down below, or tell your tale about owning this piece if you have one yourself. And if you're looking to get this Colt for yourself on the Blowback Central website, then go ahead and use the USAirsoft coupon code to get 10% off. But until the next video drops for you all to enjoy, guys, I'll be sure to see you all next time.